There it is. My mistaken beginning on that. I had banged my guitar and it was out of tune. I went to play Chuck Berry Bottom and it sounded different. I checked the tuning and found out, I need to retune my guitar, and I had to relearn how to play that intro. And then when we were recording it, there was a knock at the door and a guy standing there with 3 or 4 pizzas. And we had already been in the studio 14 hours, and he said, "Did you guys order the pizza?" And I said, "No." Down the hall, Steve Miller was recording his Fly Like an Eagle album, and War was doing their Why Can't We Be Friends album. So I said, "Go down the hall and ask for Steve Miller or ask for Jerry in the next studio." And then he came back, and the song was still playing. We were putting on our coats. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And he said, "That song sounds like you could really use the piano." And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to get Elton John or Little Richard, but they're kind of in LA right now having a party." And he said, "I'm a piano player. Will you give me a shot?" And I said, "You're kidding." He said, "No, I've been listening to the song. It's real easy. It's 3 chords." So I said, "Okay." He wrote down the chords and the spaces on a napkin. We threw a mic in the piano. He played the piano and left. And the next day, Charlie Fatch came into our studio and he said, "Let me hear the song." And I said to the engineer, "When you play it, don't play the piano track." We hadn't heard it back. We just let him play 1 take. I thought I'd give him a break and I'd erase it the next day. So we come back in and I said, "When you play TCB, keep the piano track down." But halfway through the song, the engineer pushed up the volume and then came the piano. And Charlie said, "What is that? BTO with the piano? That's incredible, because Elton John owns Top 40 Radio and Album Radio, and you having keyboards will get you some real estate on Top 40 Radio, because all you guys, ZZ and Doobies and Frampton, you're all the same. Your guitar, bass, and drums. Aerosmith, you're all the same. Having the piano will give you some Elton John space on Top 40 Radio." Play it again. We backed it up, played the whole thing with the piano. He said, "That's amazing. Who's playing the piano?" And I said, "A pizza delivery guy." And he said, "Seriously?" And I said, "Seriously? I don't know who this guy was. He was standing at the door with some pizza, and he delivered it down the hall." I said, "Well, we got to find him." So we had to do some detective sleuth work. We had to get yellow pages, phone around to try to find this guy. Long story short, his name was Norman Durkee. That's 1 piano track he did. And that was a break for him. He went on to become Bette Midler's music director on her first North American tour. And when I toured in '95 as part of Ringo Starr's All-Star Band with Billy Preston and John Entwistle and Mark Farner and Ringo, our tour ended in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, and the pianist for the LA Philharmonic was Norman Durkee, same guy. So that's kind of the story of this guy who just walked in and said, "I'm a piano player, give me a break." There was his break.